All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary folks of all ages, welcome to Vancouver. It is just after 9 o'clock, and it's a Saturday night. Saturday Night Live, I think that's what we're going to be calling it. And I don't know if this is going to be a chill stream, but it's going to be this kind of stream where essentially we are all just going to say, fuck everything. And we're going to try to be chill and hope that the discarded wreckage of the weekend will carry us further a little bit longer. Because, dear friends, it has been that kind of a week. It's the kind of week that makes you want to do weed, scream at the moon. That kind of thing. I'm not going to call it chill. I don't know if I really want that to be chill. I think maybe that's asking a little bit too much. It's been that kind of a week. And it's been, it's been ups and downs. There's been some good stuff. There's been some bad stuff. There's been some stuff that really should not be spoken of again. Not the least of which is the fact that I just ripped back a row and I probably didn't have to. And hopefully, eventually this is going to turn into a Skyrim shawl, but at this point, I'm not even sure if the yarn itself is willing. I know I'm not. No, I'm sure. I know I'm not sure. We're just gonna be winging this so hard. We're gonna make what we can out of it. Because what else is there apart from sex, drugs, and rock and roll, except to do crochet? Except to do crochet everywhere, at every point, everywhere. Everything, everywhere, all at once. That's the name of the movie, I think. Well, apply that to crochet. Just go with that. Today's bubbly flavour is orange. Officially my least favourite, but I have once again not been able to make the Costco run in order to acquire more, so we are drinking what we can get our hands on. In this week's litany of news, includes very many interesting things, not the least of which is that I finally got some jewellery appraised. And I have 2 rings that together are worth about $2,000. Gold, of course. And this makes me inordinately pleased because I bought said rings for about $4. And when you buy really expensive jewellery for nothing because people think it's costume jewellery or worth nothing, then that kind of gives you a really nice happy feeling in your heart. Even though I just know from experience that selling them is going to be a pain in the box because it's just a thing about jewellery, it doesn't seem to work well for me. Glass, yes. Pottery, yes. Jewellery, not so much. Don't know why. I think it's just because it's some kind of a reseller thing. I'm not a trusted reseller, whatever you'd like to call it. And you got to start somewhere. I'd like to do more jewellery, and not only because it takes up so much less space. Hey, Crowbar Scout, how you doing? Hope you're doing good. I'm not doing great. I've managed to bugger up just about everything. I gotta go and redo a whole 1.5 rows, That's just how we're rolling right now. I assume you will be lurking. If so, I invite you to continue your lurk. Enjoy. I have got to somehow get this done. I expected that I would have it done already, and somehow I haven't managed to do so. It is what it is. But over the course of the week, I have, apart from the jewellery appraisal, which I quite like, also managed to have a panic attack, get my interactions with the delightful Canadian government bureaucracy sorted out, which means that there is every possibility I will not be destitute in the near future. And unfortunately, I must rely on the generosity of Services Canada for a while longer. Not for lack of wanting to work, but it has been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that indeed I have been hit quite badly by the mental illness bus. And what I thought was a temporary thing is not going to be a temporary thing, and I will have to get the new brain drugs. But I don't like to dwell on these facts because I don't think it's worthwhile to dwell on the facts of having panic attacks and generally just thinking that you're an entire basket case. And I don't feel bad about describing myself as that way, you know, just saying, you know what, just not all my dogs are barking, you know. There's there's parts of the brain that are definitely going sproing and needed some tune-ups. But because you I don't you know, you can't just you gotta just accept that kind of thing about yourself and just move on from it, you know. It is what it is. Mental illness, it hits us all sooner or later. Can you really call yourself human if you hadn't just occasionally gone kerthunk and felt like you wanted to fall over in bed? No, I am lucky in that quite recovered from COVID and doing quite a bit better as a result, apart from the whole, you know, it being utterly ridiculously warm here. It is a grand old temperature of, I think, about 16 Celsius. I don't know what that is in freedom units, so don't ask. I invite you to go to the Googles and avail yourself of their built-in conversions, because I have no idea what that is in Fahrenheit. Like, I don't know. I barely understand Celsius as a measurement of how hot water gets. 16 feels too hot. It feels too hot to my Irish self. My Irish self being born and raised in the wet, chilly countryside of Limerick. And although I can highly recommend Ireland as a place where you want to go visit, you really want to do it in the sunshine and not the other 90% of the time where it is pissing rain and there's no sun because there are too many clouds. And that's not even the only thing I've managed to do tonight, you know? That's not even the only thing that's managed to piss me off. I've also managed to tweak my back yet again. Because I still apparently haven't fully accepted that I've probably blown my back out permanently. I will never be able to do any martial arts again. I keep kind of thinking, it's like, oh, you know, you're still hale and hearty. You're not a 40-something, currently slightly deranged housewife. No, I can't accept that apparently. So I was trying to lift some things and I was doing fine. And then I reached to open a high-up cupboard. It's just, you know, just reached up my left arm and just the wrong way and managed to make something in my back go kathunk, as happens with the brain. Sometimes it can actually happen in the back. And that was interesting because that was like a really nice, like little kind of stab, like right between the ribs, you know, right in the back. And you know, you just, but that's another thing that you got to get over, you know, especially when you're talking about crochet. I'm just like, you know, you can't do all these things because you got the crochet now. You got to get on stream, talk bollocks, and crochet all the things, mostly this Skyrim shawl, while I write out Yoli pattern. I've had some success with my patterns this week, fact which is delightful. I have managed to sell one pattern for one of my dice bags. Not only that, but the person who bought it ended up leaving some very nice feedback, basically to say, hey, I thought this was an excellent pattern, thank you so much. And I would also learn something and everything. And I call that a result, you know. That's a result. That's the kind of thing I like to see. The other pattern that I've got, can I actually do this successfully now? What's that? 2. Can I do this without breaking things? Can I do this in the correct stitch? Because this has to go through. No, I did not get the stitch. Not into the space. We're not doing it into the space because we can't let the stitches move. I only discovered that late, and that's going to have to be a point in the pattern. We are not half-assing this one. We half-assed the first one, sorry to say. We're not half-assing this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take that one, little 5. Like, let me be clear. There was absolutely half-assery. And there will be no such half-assery today. 1, 2, okay. We're okay. We're okay. We're doing fine. We're doing fine. It's not going to be perfect because nothing ever is. And there's that pattern there. So that's the half. And those are the 2 here. 1 gap, 2 gaps. That's the half block there, which was filled in correctly. And now I'm in here, right? difficult to spot, difficult to kind of make sense of it, I found, especially with this yarn. This yarn is, I'm not going to say it's schizophrenic, but it's certainly getting there. It's getting to the point where like I can't decide whether it's really on board with this or not. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's just like, no, you've made a horrible mistake and we're not happy about this and we're just going to be annoying. But I think overall it's a good yarn. It's just a little confused. It's got the right spirit. It's just a bit confused. It's okay. I'm still committed to streaming during the week somehow. I had all kinds of like plans that this week I was going to stream. Like during the week, I was going to get everything ready. I was going to positive mindset, all that other kind of stuff, and only to get absolutely bashed upside the brain by a severe migraine. And that plus the hangover essentially took me out of commission. And as you can imagine, that was not fun. That is a half block I got to put in there. Back up, back the bus, right back up again. Again, there's no half-assing going on. We can't half-ass. We are only using our whole ass for this particular shawl. And I have to be careful to actually follow the pattern as I wrote it, because this is supposed to be a pattern that I'm going to be using to give to other people to say, here, if you want to make this shawl, here's the pattern to follow the shawl. So I need to actually pay attention to the writing and like make an effort to make sure that it makes sense and it's not just like my usual half-assed scribblings, which is stuff that would make sense only to me, but definitely reminiscent of me while being absolutely drunked or off my face on painkillers, which is not altogether outside the realms of possibility, because part of this was written while I was indeed locked off my face on painkillers. Like I said, migraines are a hell of a thing. But again, we got to keep going, because you can't let perfect be the enemy of done. You gotta just continue to roll with it. So if you have happened to produce crochet or write out a pattern while in a opiate fueled binge derangement, I invite you to take a look at your work anyway. You never know, it could be good. I mean, at least it'll be interesting. Could be worse. Yeah. Anyway, Vancouver's nice this time of year. Vancouver's delightful. It's way too hot. But it's too hot because I'm Irish, not because it's actually like too hot in North American standards. By North American standards, it's apparently just pleasant and everybody's getting outside and stuff. I personally think it's still incredibly hot. So now I am officially team fuck jeans until the rest of the summer is over. It's probably going to be September at this rate. Who knows? Who knows? It's got a lot going on. It's got a lot going on. Now, we're doing a half block here because here's the first half block. You can see that the gaps here are quite large because that's just the way that it fills out. It's like the way the pattern works up. It's unusual, but it is actually accurate, even though the gaps look weird. I may need to modify that. I'm not sure if I'm entirely happy with the gaps, but I think at this point, we can't obsess about it any further. We just have to continue. On this side, we also need to do a block, which means that we're doing a half block in this little square here, but I only want one side of this to be filled, so I'm going to start with the treble into the slip stitch, and then after doing chain 3, which composes one side of the block, and then do the double on top of the yarn, do the single. That's not a single. Pay attention, pay attention. You did do this. You have an entire shawl that's already been made. You think you could do this a second time without making mistakes. Then slip stitch into the last one. And that gives us a filled half block. It's not showing up very well here because that's the corner of the block right there. Hopefully you can see it. That's the half that's been filled in. Not very well, mind you, but this is quite an open lacework shawl. When you actually have it on your back, it looks quite nice. Can confirm from experience, because I do actually have one of these that I did myself. I even did things myself today, which is I made food and ate it. And that was an achievement, which should tell you a little bit about my mental health has been like for the last 3 or 4 days. Panic attacks, kids, are not fun. Now, the fun thing is that I actually had a panic attack in the middle of just like nowhere particular. I was in the middle of the local game store, one of them, because my beloved husband was dropping off some games to sell, and the lovely people there are running a bring and buy. And it's all COVID friendly and everything, bless him, because a lot of people are not wearing masks, but no, they're committed. So they're doing the bring and buy, and he was just dropping off his board games to sell. Lovely stuff. And while I was there, I thought, I'm going to bring my dice bags along and I'll show them my dice bags. Obviously, they're a game store. Maybe they'd be interested in selling them. And while we were in the game store, and there was no one else there, by the way, at the time, popular place, but not so much on a Friday evening, I would say. No, Saturday evening, I should say. 2, 3, 4, 5. But we went there, we chilled, we had a little bit of chat, and then we dropped off our stuff, looked around a bit, and then at that point, I was like, I should show them my dice bags. And the thought of that was so overwhelming that I freaked right out and had to drive right back home. At which point, I was so panicky and insane that I drove like I was trying to rip the steering wheel off the car with my bare hands. And let me tell you, that gets kind of sore in the fingers. I mean, it was what it was. It happens. It happens. So, got home and passed out for a solid, I don't know, about an hour and a half. Middle of the day, mind you. Well, not really middle of the day, late afternoon. Far too early for my bedtime. But the brain had just decided that it was going to blue screen on me and then reboot right the hell up again. It was not having it. And that just, you get overwhelmed, or you get or the mental illness just kind of goes screwy, and then the brain essentially just falls apart on you. And there's not a whole lot you can say to that, not so much you can do with it other than figure out a way to stop yourself from spiraling and just get out of that situation. And for me, that meant driving home in, I don't know, probably a panicky haze. I don't remember a whole lot about it. And then passing out for a while. And then I had coffee. That was nice. And, it just, it's all right. It's like, I keep telling myself, this is a process. You don't have to feel bad for every time you have panic attacks, because you remember, you're on the brain drugs, you're doing your best, you're doing okay, you're still functional, mostly. You can't hold down the job you were holding down before, but, it's an improvement, because there was a time where you wouldn't even be able to do that. You were just kind of like a major basket case who was not functioning at all. But, I keep telling myself, it's a process, and you got to trust the process. It's just kind of hard to do that when you have to talk to your mother and tell her, hey, the brain went sideways on me again. And she's like, have you talked to your GP or your counselor or whoever? You should be talking to someone. You should absolutely be talking to someone who tried cognitive behavioral therapy. And I'm like, and now I'm getting overwhelmed again. And that, by the way, kids, is as hard as it is to actually get mental health help, by the way. You have to actually want it for yourself, but you also have to not be completely derailed by the thought of doing it. And it's just scary, by the way. It is. So I just want to say, if you are also having weird mental health issues today, I really hope that you're doing okay. Because I wasn't doing so great yesterday, yesterday was a complete waste of time. I got home and there was nothing I could do. I couldn't even crochet. Not the brain just was not having it. No muscle memory left. But you know what? I woke up this morning. I was like, you know what? It's a nice day. It's nice and sunny out. Could be worse. Hang out in the balcony for a bit in the sun. Just crochet a bit. Drink a cup of coffee. Just chill and just be somewhere and don't put anything on yourself and just don't require anything of yourself. Just relax. And it's doable. It's absolutely doable. You have to just kind of not beat yourself up for not being productive every day, kind of a thing. Because you're never going to be productive every day, but you really shouldn't beat yourself up about not being productive every day. And even though I consider crochet as being productive, it's sometimes you just got to do it like this. You do it stitch by stitch, easy, stacking one thing on top of another. And yes, I'm following a pattern, but in fairness, I'm following my own pattern. My own pattern is it's all right. I have it written out in front of me. You can't really see it, but you know what I mean. I'm writing down row by row what I'm doing. And then this is the row I'm redoing, so I don't even need to write this one down. I just need to check at the end to make sure that my count is correct. That's the important thing. For this pattern anyway. Make sure your count is correct at the very end, because corner to corner crochet, if you're doing it like this, always expands by 1 every time you do a row. Or, you know, is it? No, yeah, no, it's 1. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. See, I've been trying. See, that's how bad I'm at right now. I'm just randomly forgetting stuff to do with corner to corner crochet. All right, let's review. Let's see where we're at with this. So here we have. There we go. So here we have 1 wing, and now we are starting on the body of the dragon here, and this is the tail, the little tail here. This is going to go up and get a little bit bigger, and that's the other wing. And this is just a little extra design down here for flavor. So this is good. This is good. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, counting with cipher lev. 1, 2.5, the open blocks. 1, 2.5, open blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait. We've gone wrong here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Houston, we have a problem. Something's gone wrong. Something's gone wrong because I should have 10 on either side. Fucking right. 2 here, 2 here. Where's the missing row? There's a missing count here somewhere. Where did it happen? I still think it's here. Is it here? Or is it not? This does not look right. Or is that just me? Open block 1, 2, half. 1, 2, open block. This does not look right. Wait. We're here. There's that. Where does this come from? What? Where have we gone wrong? Where have we gone? I'm asking you guys now as if you're going to know this. Where shenanigans have happened, and I may need to redo a whole bunch of rows now because this is not correct at all. We should have this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that's not right. Why do we have 9 here as well? That doesn't make any sense. No. There's the half block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the edge. That's not correct at all. Over here. 1, 2, open block. 1, 2, half block. 1. Why does this look wrong? Why does you look wrong? That doesn't look like. This does not look right. Why does 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's correct. This is the point of failure. This is the point where we have cocked everything up. And now I think I do need to rip back these rows a second time because there's shenanigans occurring here. And I need to know what that is and try to fix it. And I can't exactly see what right now. All I know is that the blocks here work correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, empty. 1, 2, 3, 4, empty. This does not look right. 1, 2, 3, 4, half. 1, 2, 3. Here. Right here. This is the spot where shenanigans are. Okay. Okay. We got to start somewhere. And in crochet and in life, the best thing to kind of solve a problem like this is to frog about. Let's back everything up until past the point where we know we cocked it up. And then we are going to redo it very carefully. Backed it up already. It looks like I didn't back enough far enough. We're going to have to just frog the whole thing back as far as we need to until we're convinced that we have not made a mistake. Because something does not work about that one spot right there. So I'm going to frog it back until I know for sure I've gotten to the correct counts on either side. Now, the really ironic thing about this is that in the actual pattern itself, I made a point of saying that you should always count your blocks in the row. Count every block that you do. And just to be sure that you have the correct count for the row, because if you have the correct count for the row, then you know that you have the correct number of stitches, etc., etc. And clearly, Muggins here didn't do that, because it's very easy to think, oh, I'm the designer, I know exactly what I'm doing. Of course not. Of course not. This is shenanigans of the highest order. So I need to back it up by at least another row, if not more. It's fine, we're just like, you know what? It's just like, I have no fear of frogging on stream, I just like, when it comes to it, the worst thing I'm going to have to endure is going to be filthy looks from Frank, because he's just going to be looking at me like, you do realize that this is costing us time and money, right? And as my business manager, he would be correct. But I'm just saying that, like, you can't, this isn't as much art as it is business, and sometimes the art just gets a little bit weird on you, or you just kind of make mistakes, because it's part of the progress, the process of making art, and you just kind of have to roll with it, and you gotta figure out your intention and decide whether you want to live with the mistake or go back and redo it, which I am doing in this case. Because, again, this is supposed to be the pattern that, yeah, this is supposed to be the pattern that we sell to people to say, hey, look, you can make this lovely, lovely shawl. And we are not going to accept errors. Not right now, anyway. Now, let's see if we can figure out where we cocked this. There it is. Right. That's where it buggered up. That was joined together like that. That's where the break happened. Now, found you, asshole. Now we can get back into this. Yeah. Now we can do the crochet. And I promise you, I am normally much better about this. But again, there was a certain amount of crochet happening while I was tripping balls and powerful painkillers to combat a migraine. And the hangover from a migraine, by the way, it's not like a normal hangover where you can take like Alka-Seltzer or shit in order to stop it from making you feel like your head's being unscrewed. No, migraine hangovers are a whole other thing. They last multiple days. Is that correct? Block, block, block. Right, okay. We're good. We're good. Okay, so where are we here? We have block. Block. Then one more full block, I think. Yeah. Yeah, okay. One more full block. 2, 3. Gotta count to myself, or else I'm going to bugger it up a second time, and then where are we gonna be then? So yeah, 1 edge of the wing. There's the half. There's 1 block, 2 block. I'm on that row right now. Okay. Open block, then full block. Where are we? Here we go. So easy corner to corner crochet. It's like if you cock it up, itch. Dang it. Okay, right, there we go. Excuse me. Slight break in order to scratch my back. There we go. All right, that looks a bit more accurate. Now, full block. The entire pattern is composed of empty or filled blocks, which is traditionally done filet crochet and is done as square, although in this case we're doing it in corner to corner. I'm effectively replicating the Skyrim dragon doing this nonsense. And it's not a good representation for what it's worth. It's just the one that I'm going with, because I want a shawl with Skyrim dragon on it, and I decided I was going to design it. And did the first one. Everyone thought it was lovely. So I cleaned with the pattern a bit, made it look more like a dragon and less like a snake, and took it back to the drawing board and came up with this. And I think I know why I went wrong back over here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. And then, the reason why I went back wrong is because when this stretches out, the corners become a little bit more difficult to see. This would not be as much of an issue if you were doing a different type of yarn. It's just this particular yarn is a little bit kind of more stringy, I think, a little bit more stretchy, especially being worked with a size 5 hook as I have it here. And like, yeah, single, yeah, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 block. And I don't want to blame the yarn for that. It's just basically doing whatever it wants to do at this rate. Single block open here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're correct. Yeah, I don't want to blame the yarn for this, because the yarn is just kind of doing its own thing, you know. And this is a size 5-ish. Yeah, it's a size 5 hook. This is essentially what you're supposed to use with it. And the terrible thing is that, like, I would rather be using the Karen Crystal Cake yarn, but they just don't have any around. It's all discontinued, which means that what I made the first shawl with, I can't use that yarn again because it does not exist. It's not available for sale. And I can't very well put out a pattern saying, hey, you should use this yarn that doesn't exist. So we have to go with the nearest substitute. And in this case, it's a Lion Brand shawl and a ball. Nice yarn, worked with it before. It's occasionally finicky, especially when you're using a hook which is too small for it. I will say that much. But with a large hook like this, which is actually designed for, it's quite happy, you know. It's a nice yarn. It's kind of like a little bit of opinionated, but otherwise it's kind of okay, you know, doing its own thing. Occasionally getting all up in my business, but I'm mostly obeying my commands. If I could just get this through the chain, like that. Okay, half. I may change that so that they're actually locking on there. So that's that half fill block. All right, now open block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Block, right, and slip stitch into place. There we go. And now we just lock it out to the end. I keep having to remind myself, you should put this next to the camera so that people can see what you're doing. At the very least, you can move your camera so that it's like pointing at your hands, because I keep forgetting and letting my hands drift a little bit closer to me when I really shouldn't be doing that. Now, more fun facts. I actually spent a while putting together new emotes, and I don't have them uploaded yet because this entire week has been a dumpster fire. Sorry about that. But I do have new emotes. If you know my Instagram, which you probably don't, they're up there for the edification and amusement of all. Because Frank is such a big personality, I decided that he was going to be the emote mascot. He's already the mascot of the channel, obviously, as well as my business manager. So I decided that he was going to be the basis for all the emotes as well. So we're going to have some very cute little Frank emotes eventually. Not that I expect anybody to actually use them, because I don't really expect anybody to use them at all. I want them for myself. Because I want to have a couple of little emotes of a lizard on top of a yarn ball. And just for the record, Frank has personally signed off on all of them. He said I did a very good job capturing his likeness. He's been most accommodating when it comes to posing and whatnot. Although he has insisted that I only get his good side. To date, he has not specified which side that is, so I've kind of just been improvising. So far, I've heard no complaints, and that is the most important thing. Nearly done with this row. Nearly done with this row. And we will have to recount once we get here, just to check. Just so you know, because I am currently on Team Fuck Jeans, I have fully embraced the Moo aesthetic. And I don't think muumuus are just for people who are overweight or otherwise bigger. I think they're for everybody, because they're big and airy and generally nice and easy to wear, and they swish around the place, and they're basically the thing you want to be wearing in a hot climate. Hot for me, anyway. Especially ones that are made of cotton. Nice light cotton. They're practically the thinnest thing you can get away with wearing that isn't being totally naked. And for what it's worth, I still cannot wander around my housing co-op in a bikini. That's just going to get me weird looks from my neighbours. And I'm pretty sure they already think I'm quite weird. But they tolerate me, which is the important thing. Now, nearly done. And we can get back to going back to whatever row we were actually on before we decided to completely cock up the pattern. And at this point, I'm going to have to start checking every single time because I no longer trust myself to be able to count correctly during the actual pattern itself. And when I was doing the first shawl, I counted not at all. So there, God only knows what kind of absolute disasters await me if I ever actually go through and check what I did each row. Because it took basically no time at all to make it. I just knocked it out as fast as possible. Just to, because I was like, I want to see if it works. Let's just go with it. It's good. Oh, oh yeah. Probably go down the road. I swear I'm not COVID positive anymore. I swear to God, guys. And the fact that I sound like a smoker is entirely coincidental. Because I don't smoke. I just sound like that, apparently. It's fine. You know what, we're gonna do this. We're gonna crank these rows out, you know. Maybe a short stream, because you know, I'm still just kind of getting past the whole freaking right the fuck out yesterday. And I think a short stream might be good for me. Just kind of chill out a bit, just kind of relax a bit, or try to relax a bit. Drink some coffee. Take a look at some of my vintage stuff. Finally gone and picked up a few more things. And I sold a vintage Indian puja horn this week, which I have to say is incredibly interesting if you've never seen it. For what it's worth, it's composed of a bullhorn finished in brass with all of the the trimmings and everything like that. And the thing about this is that it is very much an actual working horn because the mouthpiece can be removed. Oh, hey, Decrum. Hello. How's it going? I was just talking about the fact that I sold a vintage Indian puja horn this week. And it's fun, I'll tell you what. Yeah, man, I'm glad to see you as well. I don't think I've seen you online this week. I've been wondering how you're doing, if you're still depressed or just, finding the energy to stream, God knows I have not been able to find the energy. This entire week has been a parade of disaster, one thing after another. So I'm pretty sure that this stream is not going to be high energy. Or at least not as high energy as I'd like it to be. Building yourself a home server, oh dear God. Godspeed. I would not want to do that myself. I have neither the time nor patience for it anymore. Fun fact, I was helping while Nomad organize some stuff today, and she has a commercial server underneath her couch. And also a very large commercial server rack in her closet. And I ended up asking her, it's like, okay, just level with me. You've already told me your server's over here in the pantry. Why is it that you have a commercial server underneath your couch? And she was just like, I can't answer that question because it's her husband's server apparently, and she doesn't know what he's doing with it, and it's all quite mysterious. It's not. It's not really mysterious. It's a server that he needs to get rid of because it's old. That's the kind of thing you do when you're moving house, all right? You end up bringing everything with you and then forget to get rid of the stuff you really should have gotten rid of. It is what it is. But I wouldn't want to build a home server. You say, yeah, it's confusing. I don't do that. That sounds annoying. Oh, I know what I was doing during the week because because I had a whole migraine episode or whatever, and there was not really any space or brain to do much of anything, and I ended up playing The Room and The Room 2. All right, and oh man, I don't know if you guys have ever played the Room games. Okay, I just want to say they are unutterably creepy, like super super fucking creepy, like Victorian Gothic creepy. All right. It's got some jump scares. It's got a little bit of everything that you might think. It's got weird music. It's got stuff that's gonna make you uncomfortable, right? There is a lot going on in that game, considering it's a fucking iPad game. The Room. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, man. It's a whole ass thing. Okay. And I tell you what. All right. They're mind-blowingly good. They're creepy horror games. I don't care what anyone says. They're horror puzzle games. All right. And I am absolutely not about the horror games. All right. But I will play The Room because that's how good it is. Like just exceptionally, exceptionally good games. Just for what it's worth, highly recommend. Now, I will say this much: I will not play the VR game because I'm a fucking coward, and the iPad game on a teeny tiny little screen is about the limit of what I can tolerate from that particular from that particular aesthetic, because it really just it gets far too much because it's a real fucking horror game. Ah. The thing is that most of horror games now they're kind of gross and creepy, and they're like more gross than anything else. They're not strictly creepy. Matthew, subscribe for 3 months. Thank you so much. I just thank you so much. I really much appreciate that. Yeah, I don't have many subscribers, and I'm very, very happy that you guys choose to subscribe to my stream. Considering that once again, I only do this once a week because I am constantly derailed by stuff happening during the week. Apparently, yeah. Do the lurking, and if you see Quaid at all, if you're playing Board Games Arena or something like that, tell him I need to do the overlays, and then I really wish this week had gone better because I would have totally have done the overlays so that you'd have like something popping up here when subscriptions happening. It happened. Like I was absolutely planning to have that in place, and the week kind of fell apart on me, and it just didn't happen. But yeah, but I said it to Quaid, just like I really got to do those overlays, and he's just like, sure, let me do the thing, and then just nothing worked again. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So where are we? Where are we? I want a half, and this. So we need to do a full block. 1, 2, 3, and then a half. Okay, half block. We're good. If Quadrain is curious, we were playing Innovation IRL. I have no idea what that game is. I hope it's a good game. Like what I know about board games would not fill a teacup. I only incidentally know. Like, oh, Matthew, I don't know if you're actually where Rain City Games in Vancouver, in downtown, they're doing that bring and buy stuff. I don't know if you're doing it as well, but you can sell some of your old games or whatever during the week. Quaid dropped off his games to thingy. God damn it! He dropped them off. We dropped them off yesterday for him to actually to to sell or whatever. But if you may want to do that as well. Anyway, enjoy your lurk. All right, we're totally gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna get back to the point where we're at, and then continue. It's gonna be fine. I keep telling myself like the pattern's not completely bust. It's just me being a complete dingbat. Yeah, okay, that looks all right. That looks accurate. 1, 2, 3. Half. 1, 2, 3. 1.5. Okay, okay. All right, we're fine. 1.5. 1, 1, 2, and then 1, 2 together. Right. Okay. 1, 2. No blocks. Right. Okay. Okay. I swear I wrote this pattern. I swear to God, I wrote this pattern. You think I should be able to refer to it like without? No, no, it's not gonna happen. But look. I'm gonna be cocking up patterns until the day I die. It's fine. Now, the market bag patterns I was doing, the Minty Fresh market bags, I'm not convinced that they're going to be pretty good. So that is now in production. And I have given it, sent it around the place for some commentary. And as soon as people have given me some commentary on that, I'm going to be publishing it on ye olde Etsy for the grand price of 5 of your shiniest Canadian dollars. And I really hope that people are going to like it, because like it's corner to corner crochet, and it's the kind of thing where like I'm sure somebody has thought of this before, but damned if I can figure out who. Because it seems like a really obvious thing to me, but I do a lot of stuff with corner to corner crochet for no real reason. I learned how to do it, and I was like, this is the best thing ever, and I want to make everything I can out of it, and I love it, and look at all the strange stuff I can do with it. And I kind of went a bit crazy. Um, like I was just like, someone must have done this corner to corner crochet bag before. Like, I can't be the only person to come up with this kind of nonsense. But like, I didn't see any specific patterns, so I'm just going to publish it and call it good. Just like, here's my take on this particular bag. Come on, come on, work with me. Okay, so remember what I said, that this yarn is occasionally really opinionated. This is one of these times. It just decides that it is not going to work. It gets a bug up its ass about being told to do something it's not into. There you go. And then it's just like a whole bunch of swearing, and eventually we get it to sort itself out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eventually we get it together. It's fine. Yeah, yarn is like that sometimes, right? But we're okay. We're still on track. We're still on track. Somehow. Like I said, low energy stream. Low energy stream. Not expecting much at all. Still working on everything. Although, fun fact, okay. Any of you guys are actually in Vancouver, BC, right? I now have the ability to sell things in person because I signed up to Square and I got myself a reader. And this is not any kind of advertising for Square. Let's be obvious, or like, let's be clear here. They're basically the only game in town that, as far as I know of, when it comes to selling in person, and especially around Vancouver anyway, everyone just kind of expects that you have a Square reader. Kind of dickish and a little bit annoying, but them's the breaks. We go with what everybody's like. We want to be able to take the tap payments, and this is where we're at. So I did it. I went and I signed up for ye olde Square, and I got myself a little Square reader. So now, once I finish the setup stuff, I'm going to be able to sell in person. And I personally am super excited by this. And I hope you are too. Because it means I can go to things like craft fairs and sell at craft fairs. And a lot of them, the requirements are that you must be able to take cash or credit, which obviously I haven't been able to do. Yep. And now I can. It's like a whole new world is opening up. A whole new world of being able to sell things in person, of which I don't really have a whole lot of stock. Let's be clear, because I'm just constantly making things and trying to find some place to store it. And what I have is a large number of dice bags, and that's really it right now. Like, I should probably start making lots of smaller things, but that's kind of depends on me being able to come up with a pattern and knock it out, kind of thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, there's stuff involved. Like, I could sit down and make earrings all day, every day, but like, do I want to? Kind of no. I want to make bags. It's just that, like, I need more yarn. I need more yarn to make 11 billion bags. Make all the bags, because I can knock out corner to corner crochet bags in like 2 seconds flat. No, not really. It takes about a couple of hours. You know what I mean? Hyperbole. It's not just a city in Finland or something, whatever that goes. I can knock out a corner to corner crochet bag quite quickly, and then like an hour or two, really, especially if I double up the crochet. If I use cotton and then double-stranded, I can crank them out real quick, but that's not going to produce a bag that I'm personally going to be happy with. So you gotta go where you can. And I still need to get tags saying made in Vancouver, because that's another thing that is apparently quite so. Fun fact: if you're a crafter, all right, and you want to start selling stuff in person, okay, you need to have some kind of a tag or something on your clothing or on your pieces, whatever you want to call it, saying made in location. At the very least your business name and then made in location. And this is kind of a problem because these are all yarn objects. And I'm like, well, where am I going to find a thing that lets me, just lets me do it? Strips of leather or something like that. Well, yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do. Get embossed get leather and just emboss it or just draw onto it or write onto it or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I'm wondering if Sharpie is going to be good enough to stain leather. One of those questions, because I need to write the name of my business, which is Rainfall Crafts, and then made in Vancouver. And because I was talking to a very nice cafe owner who would be willing to give me some shelf space, because apparently she wants to get into more local crafts and all that. But the problem is that, she says, look, you got to have something on that says made in Vancouver or made locally, because people want to see that. They want to see the stuff made by local artists. And I'm like, well, shit. Because I got nothing like that right now. And I got to go figure that out. But, that's not a problem for right this second. My problem for right this second is the fact that my yarn is being a bit of a tit. And we're going to have to swiftly remind it that it's here to do a job, and it shouldn't get notions about not doing that job. You gotta trust that you gotta make sure that the yarn's going to trust that at the end of this it's going to be something awesome. Another fun fact: I spent something like half an hour yesterday deciding what to wear, solely because I wanted to wear my Skyrim shawl, and couldn't decide on what I should wear underneath it to make the dragon show up. And yep, that's something that I was thinking about for a solid half hour. Which is a long time for me, because I'm normally at most 5 minutes thinking about my clothing choices for the day. Mostly because I am too old for that shit at this point. That's the kind of thing that teenagers take time to think about their clothing choices for the day. I have far more just worrying things to occupy my brain, not the least of which is my brain going on the fritz. So taking half an hour to decide what to wear was a real game changer. It's like, damn, maybe something just, am I sure I want to go down this road? Okay. Wheat, that is quick check. Oh, I'll tell you what kind of a day it's been. I'm yawning already. Come on. Just go to my notes, damn you. Where is it? Row 31 start, open block 1, afro vertical type 2. That's the start of that. That's the half fill horizontal, which we're going to get back to. Half fill horizontal. God, I'm going to have to write that in. Horizontal upper half filled. Okay. We're going to get back to that. So we are distantly here. And that is row 30, 31, 2. So we're finished 33. 33, open 2. Vertical type 1. Okay. All right. We're up to date. Just about. We're now on row 34. And of course, that means I have to actually write that shit down somewhere. But we're going to do the row first and let's see how we are. We are just about back to where we were at the start of the stream, when I in fact realised that I've managed to fuck it all up. Something like 3 rows back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Here's a little trick. If you want to do something like this with yarn, which is kind of a bit of a balls, when you're doing this kind of chain, you don't need to go through the entire chain. You can just go through the back loop. And if it's easier for you to do so, you probably should. There's no specific thing that says you need to go through the both loops of the V at the top of the chain stitch. You can just go through just the one back loop and call it good. Or the front loop, you know. It's a personal preference, it's fine. In this case, I'm doing it on the edges but not in the middle, because I want to make sure that the slip stitch in the open work should be fairly solidly anchored. I want to be careful about that. Oh, okay. All right. Head in the game. We can do this. This is why I need a coach. I'm telling you, this is why I have Frank around, all right? Anytime I think, oh, it's just like it's, I'll get tired or like that, I basically have Frank right here giving me that stern look, saying, you need to get your head on straight. You need to remember what you're here for. Get your head in the game. Got a lot of crochet to do and a lot of yarn to get through. And you know how to do it except to just sit down, button in the chair, or in my case, in any position where I'm not so distracted that I can't crochet. And that generally means like when I am cooking, I can't crochet. My hands are busy. Then of course the usual, when I'm asleep. Can't crochet when you're asleep. Not that I wouldn't want to find a way to do it, but I'm just saying I haven't found a way yet. Give me time. Give me time. Oh, I have decided that I am going to do, once I get to 100 subscribers, I will crochet with my feet on stream. I don't give a shit if people are into that kind of thing, or if it's kink or whatever, or if I get weirdos. If I get to 100 subscribers, you guys, I'm absolutely going to go ahead and do that. I am going to crochet with my feet. I'll demonstrate the technique, and I'll prove to you that it is actually possible. For someone who, just a random person, right? Someone who hasn't had like a major disability or hasn't had the use of their hands for like their whole life, because I'm pretty sure that those people already have the entire technique of using their feet as their hands on lock, and they don't need me to tell them how to do it. But I want to demonstrate the technique for basically if people become disabled or they find they can't use their hands for whatever reason, I want to show them you can still crochet, There's like, as long as you have 2 working limbs, you should be able to crochet, Or even if you have either two working feet or 1 working hand, you should be able to crochet. Like there's a very famous painter in Ireland whose name I cannot remember because I am really bad with names. But there was a movie about him called My Left Foot, right? And he was a very talented painter, but he painted everything with his foot because that was his left foot was essentially the only limb he had that enough control over to actually paint at all. And again, phenomenal painter, right? Truly gifted, but painted everything with just 1 foot, And I think if one person can learn to do that, then sky's the limit if you have 2 feet when you think about it. But yeah, no, you can do all kinds of things with your feet. But yeah, okay, so that's going to be the sub goal for 100 subscribers. I'm totally going to do it. I will also probably put a video on TikTok or something like that, just to show, hey, look, you just check this shit out. Because like, I don't think people realize that like it's not actually that hard to do crochet. If you've lost the use of a hand, you could do 1-handed crochet. It's a matter of knowing the technique, being willing to learn it. Doable, of course. It sounds insurmountable when you think about it, but like, but it's not really. Once you get down the fundamental kind of components of how crochet is done, it gets to be a lot easier. And one of those components, by the way, is don't get hair wrapped around your crochet hook. Why the f did you get in there? Goddamn. Yeah, there's a prime lesson, okay, from your IT cipher. Don't let hair get into your crochet. Doesn't end well. And I'm usually pretty lucky because my hair is super duper short and I like to keep it that way. But for any of you out there who have long hair, and women included, make sure you don't get your hair stuck in your crochet hook. Just, you gotta be careful about that, Because the worst thing that happens is that you're going to actually wind your own hair onto the thing and end up having to cut a piece off or something like that. And at that point, you've now got hair woven into your project, and I don't think any of us want that unless you're, unless you're in a particularly weird frame of mind. But even then, I'm not sure it's going to apply to most people watching me. Oh God! Now see, this is the kind of like mistake you can make. Okay, you slip stitch in, double crochet up, and then it's like, oh, I just completely forget what I'm doing. All right, back up. Back the bus up. Right. That's not what that's supposed to be. We're doing a filled block, and that means that we are doing 3 double crochets in here to fill the block. That's what we're like tonight. This is where we're at. This is where, like, a desperate week long, a week of, oh God, what would I call it? A week of idiocy, followed by migraines and throwing my back out and having a panic attack and generally just like, having a whole bunch of shit go entirely wrong. This is where we're at now. It's Sunday. The weekend is behind us. Well, behind us, mostly. It is Ye Olde Family Day tomorrow here in Canada, which means that I technically get another day off. But in reality, I get all days off right now because all I do is crochet like I have a grudge against the yarn or a grudge against my own time. I just crochet a lot. Lots and lots and lots. Victoria, yeah, it's a free day of some description. I have no idea. I can't keep track of this nonsense. They constantly have us doing like, oh yeah, it's like you got the day off tomorrow, and I'm like just like, why? And they go blah 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 day, and I'm just like, that's great. That's great. I'll take it. Whatever. Like, they could say, oh, we're having a day off because it's like, marshmallow pie day, and I'll be just like, okay, clearly Canada is stranger than I thought. Whatever, I'm just gonna run with it because I get the day off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, taking advantage of the foreigner who knows practically nothing. I'd say no. I keep thinking it's like when they say, oh, you're getting a Monday off, I just don't automatically assume that it's family day or something, because what else would it be? I swear to God, I am actually in the process to become a Canadian citizen, okay? And I guarantee that if they ever find out this kind of stuff, they're not going to give me a citizenship. It's just absurd. Like, I was actually dreading in the interview, they're going to say, like, hey, do you want to like, what do you know about ice hockey? And I'm just like, I realize this is going to be on the test. I know it's the national winter sport of Canada, is it? I have no idea. You guys play it a lot? You're into it? I don't know. Somebody tried to explain the rules of hockey to me at one point, and I gave up because I was like, this is more confusing than cricket. And just for the record, I can't even make sense of what cricket is. Like, a cricket just doesn't look like anything. Curling is our national winter sport. I should probably look that up. Probably. I don't know. Someone had to explain curling to me as well. That at least kind of makes a little bit more sense. You're trying to get all the stones into the target and knock other people's stones out, which seems like, a really weird, icy adult version of Conquers. But you know what you're into? I'm not gonna say anything. It looks like people are having fun, which is the important thing, Who are we to say that that's stupid? I mean, like, Ireland's national sport is hurling, and that can be charitably described as a large fight in which there is a field and a ball involved. So you know what? If Canadians are into just shucking stones down an ice rink, then who are we to say otherwise? Lacrosse too is one of the first national sports in Canada. The first. Oh God. The only thing I know about lacrosse is that it used to be a really big English boarding school thing in like the 50s, which is like upper class kind of what upper class like girls used to play. So I have no idea what the actual modern sport looks like. I'm sure it's lovely though. I'm sure it's fun. Wait, here we go. 2, so we got 1/2 and then a 1. Yeah. Yeah, I'm blocking up. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1/2. Okay, all right, we're fine. We're fine. We haven't gone bad yet. this is progress is fine. Like Archer, did you watch Archer? You went to lacrosse camp for like 10 years. No, we did watch Archer, but I did not watch enough Archer to retain that kind of knowledge of it. I think I watched like the first couple of seasons of it, and I thought it was kind of funny. I think I got annoyed because Archer himself is such an asshole. So for what it's worth, I highly prefer Bob's Burgers. I think that one is just the funniest thing ever. And The Great North is just pure perfection and joy to watch. I love it. So if you do have Netflix, absolutely watch The Great North. It's hilarious. Just it's so funny. I love it so much. Okay, where are we going? Where are we at? There's the chain. Where's the middle? 2, 3. And are you going to argue with me? Oh, you're not. You're going to be good today. Or you're good in this particular chain. There we go. 1, 2. Don't drop the yarn. 3, 4, 5. Come on. We can get through this. We're going to go back to doing doubles again in just a second. Just do not crap out on me now. I got the first one done without too much arguing. Come on. Just enough with the fuzziness. It's like, there's the other half fuzzy. Okay, this one half is the other half. No. God damn you, dumbass yarn. You're honestly just gonna... Right, there we go. Christ. Seriously, like, it's not like I'm doing anything complicated. I'm literally just slip stitching into a chain, for fuck's sake. Do you think this thing is gonna work with it? No. Too easy. Far too easy. Right. Half block. Let's do this. I should have picked an easier pattern, all right? And I say this is an actual pattern that I wrote. I should have written an easier pattern. I should have written a pattern which is less annoying, with maybe less of these weird half blocks and stuff. But you know what? We did it once. We're committed. We're just going to continue. There we go. There's the half block. We're just going to continue and hope it doesn't turn out to be a entire fucking hot mess. But look, I'm sure it's going to be fine. You know, maybe I just need to keep telling myself, look, it'll be fine. People like the other pattern. Maybe, you know, they're going to like the market bag pattern. Maybe they'll like this one too. You just can't. You got to get out of your own head and not get into thinking that something's going to be crap just because you're making mistakes doing this one thing. No, it's like, it's fine. You're allowed to make mistakes. You're absolutely allowed to make mistakes. Important thing. Now, if I could just get through the next couple of rows. Like, the thing about the shawl is that it actually worked up really quickly as long as I wasn't following the damn pattern. If I was just working off like this drawing that I've got here. And your Mac will sleep soon. Oh, for God's sake. Plugged out my MacBook. You just... There. Ah! God damn it. Away! Go over there. Ah! Quaid, if you're watching this, I'm going to bring you your power cord in a sec. Yeah. You're really making me just... The MacBook makes the stream go. I have exactly 2 cameras, all right? I have the MacBook camera and I have my iPhone because I have literally no other tech going on here. In case anyone thinks that this is like a professional streamer setup. Hell no, this is literally my phone. My phone. Yeah. So if the MacBook loses power, then that's it. There's no more stream. Stream goes down. Oh yeah, and I still have like really crappy t-shirts, which I keep meaning to go and design more and put them up. I have all of these really cool designs for t-shirts, and I keep forgetting to get stuck into actually putting the designs together and putting them up on the stream the Stream Elements merch store, whatchamacallit. I did get the t-shirt that I ordered from that, which is like asked me about crochet with the little yarn ball logo that I made, and I love it to bits, but it's dark grey and black. Just for the record, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, really do love it. You know, it's lovely soft cotton. You know, fantastic t-shirt. How you're happy with quality, etc., etc. It is not black, and I don't know if that's something I should be worried about or not. T-shirt merch, not black. I may have to just not offer that color. Which is going to be a bit of a bummer because I'm sure people are going to want it, but like I'm just like I can't guarantee it's going to be black. I'm sorry. I can't rename it either because fuck me, right? Yeah. All right, let's do this. Come on. Don't lose it now. Don't lose it now. Still have, wait. Hang on. 1, 2, well, it's going to be like this. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 32, 32 fucking rows. Yeah. 60 fucking rows in this pattern-ish. I swear, if someone buys this, gets to the end of the pattern and actually makes one, and then leaves a message or something saying, hey, I made it, it looks great, thank you so much and everything, the first thing I'm going to do is congratulate them saying, hell yeah, you got to the end of this pattern, it's a long one, and can I send you an award for just powering through this bullshit? Like, mustn't have been easy. I mean, I guess it's worth it if you want to have a really cool shawl, but I don't even know if it's that cool. It's got a dragon on the back of it. Okay, that's nice. But unless you're wearing like the correct shirt, like you need to wear a dark shirt or something underneath this to make it show up. Pain in the ass is what it is. I just, I don't know. I think maybe just people like enjoy different, like a specific type of texture that maybe I don't do because I'm moderately obsessed with corner crochet at this rate. I don't know. I kind of wonder, is like, someone's come up with this before and they found it to be unsuccessful because it just not, like, the result is not popular for what it's worth. But I'm like, but I like doing this. It makes me happy to try and put together these insanely weird looking, like, filet crochet crossed with corner crochet. Corner crochet. It's like, I don't know if anyone else does it, but I don't care because I'm happy. Maybe it's not obvious enough. I don't know. It's like, is that just me? I don't know. I'd have to just kind of figure out if I can I'll finish this off, I'll publish the pattern and just leave it up to people to decide whether or not they're going to like it. Because, like, there are worse things than for people to be indifferent. Because Twitter this morning, I saw a tweet by a guy who said that women shouldn't code. It's like they should just go home and have babies. And I'm just like, well, I'm only here for the retweets or the quote tweets or whatever. I have to say that that particular guy, like, he was just nothing but I get kind of, if someone said that he was a cartoon villain who knocks over banks or something, that I would be like, yeah, I can see where someone would think that. This is following the stereotype, because someone dug up a whole bunch of stuff about this guy, and he's apparently some kind of a weird professional troll. And one of the videos that he has on YouTube is someone actually linked to the screenshot saying, why my marriage collapsed, or why my life, like, aka why my wife left me. And all I could think was like, oh honey, it's okay, we know why she left you. It's pretty fucking obvious. As soon as he said women should not code, women should go and have babies instead, I'm pretty sure at that point they're just like everyone was just like, oh, is he married and has he been divorced yet? And it's like, oh no, it's been divorced. There you go. That explains everything. But look, it's just like I saw a really great tweet that kind of described everything you need to know about Twitter. So, a fun fact: if you're not actually on Twitter, okay, Twitter is the weirdest little microcosm of the internet that you've ever seen in your entire life, where everybody is having a conversation and everyone expects to be listened to in some way, shape, or form, and normal internet etiquette goes entirely out the fucking window. That was a great story. Did you see it? Tell me you went and read through the replies to that thread, because he was getting dunked on. And I swear half of the replies were making me laugh. It was perfection. I treat women like shit. Guess what? Oh, yeah. Ex-Facebook employee, also worked for Google, not working for them anymore. Ah. Oh. Yeah, but look, I saw some of them computer being difficult. They were brilliant. The dunks were perfect. They were so perfect. They were just, they were lovely. They just, like, I didn't even, I was just like, you know what, you can't even just join the pile, you literally you just want to sit down and crack open a can of something nice and just start reading the quote tweets in the sure and certain knowledge that there will be some comedy fucking gold in there. That's a nice way to wake up in the morning. Like, if you don't have a can, or if you have the right time zone, just literally sit down with coffee and everything like that, and and wake up to that, and just enjoy the experience of some dipshit getting absolutely hammered by everybody and sundry because he is Twitter's main character of the day. Huh. Yeah, I love that. Just some people think that they can say whatever the fuck they want and no one's going to pay attention. But like, I think he must be in the whole like, oh, any attention is good attention. I don't believe that for a second. Like, I have no idea what he's going on with that kind of thing. Anyway, we're going to actually count this out first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus the edge. That's good. Right. That 1, 2, half, 2. Half of a block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have the counters. Good. Fan-dabby-tastic. We're going to write that stuff down. This is 34. Okay. Oh, come on. Work with me. Row 34. We'll start. Step by 1. We have... Wait. Open block by... Yeah, okay. So, open block by 2. No half fill. C2C block by 2. Sorry for this, guys, but I got so block by 2. C2C block by C2C step by 2. Then half a vertical type 1 here. Then open block by 1. Then half fill vertical block type 2. Open C2C step 2. Then open block 2, CPU step 10. Okay. All right. Now we count it. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Wow. And we're wrong. God damn it. Count is wrong. The count is wrong. God fucking damn it. Okay. All right. Let's go again. I swear this pattern's going to break my heart. 10 C2C steps 20. Row starting with ends 22. Open block 2. 24. 6. 28. 30. And then it adds up to 33. Oh, goodness sake. Did it actually add up to 33? Have I gotten the row count wrong? Because if it's the row 34, it should be 34. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 26, 29, 30, 32, 33. Fuck you. Ugh. 33. 33. Did I get the counts wrong? Because this is where we're at. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. We can do this. We can do this. Let's back it up again. Let's figure out where we are. Did I count it wrong somewhere? So that's 1, 2, 3 in the middle. 5. 10, 20, open block 1, open block 1. So, sorry about this, but I gotta try and do maths. Something which is going to fucking break my brain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 32. Did I get it wrong? Row 30, row 31. No. Did I get the counts wrong? What the fuck? 25, 26, 27. 26 is C2C step 1. Did I fuck this up somewhere? Oh my god. I'm now asking myself the question. I feel insane. Okay, let's go back to 29. Let's go back to 29. And 29 is this one. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. What? Did I double up on the rows? Oh, for fuck's sake, did I double up on the rows? Is it 32? Wait. This is 29. My notes wrong? $29, 30, 31, 2, 33. Oh, just... Oh, that's where we're at. That's where we're at right now. This is just going to be the disaster. This is going to be the worst stream I've ever done because I, A, can't fucking maths, and B, can't fucking write. Good job, me. I have apparently 2 row 33s. We are going to delete that. 33. This is row 33, and now we're going to do 34, and fuck everything. Should probably count this again. In fact, that's what we're going to do. We're going to count the edge again, because that'll tell you as many rows as we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Fuck everything. We do, in fact, have 33 rows, and now we are back to 34 rows. Okay, we are now in the 34th row, and I swear to God, this is just going to this is the perfect end to the Sunday this particular week. Perfect end. For all of you viewers out there who are wondering why I'm so angry, it's because I have buggered up a pattern and it's my pattern. And just not you as well. All I need now is for Frank to start giving me disapproving looks, and then this entire week will officially be a shambles. And we might as well just get drunk, go to bed, and then wake up tomorrow and take the hangover cure and then see if we can be productive, because apparently our headspace right now is nothing but a dumpster fire full of screaming monkeys. Yep, that's where we are. Absolute dumpster fire full of screaming invertebrates of some description. I'm not going to be too picky. Monkeys, I'm just going to assume, because the circus and monkeys metaphor seems to be particularly apt right now. Circus, monkeys, and maybe typewriters. Let's just go completely nuts and combine all the metaphors. Call it the biggest disaster that ever happened, and then see where we are. Anyway, seriously though, that guy on Twitter, he was funny. Because Twitter itself is this, a hive of scum and villainy in general. And I have fluffy in my hair. Yeah. So Twitter is a hive of scum and villainy, right? Where everybody's having a conversation at the top of their lungs, and only not everybody is actually listening. And people seem to be weirdly they completely forget internet decorum for no particular reason. It's like they seem to think that everybody must listen to them. That if someone replies, or if they reply to somebody else, that they are absolutely obliged for example, I think the best analogy to it is just like on Twitter, anybody can obviously reply to anyone publicly, at someone, there you go, there's a reply. And people seem to assume that because someone tweets something publicly, that that they are open to having a conversation, as if someone just makes some random comment about how, I don't know, they hate pineapple on pizza, they will immediately get inundated by people going like, how could you hate pineapple on pizza? And then and then straight away it becomes this entire debate. Isn't the person just commenting about the fact that they don't particularly like pineapple on pizza, and weren't actually asking for a debate about the finer merits of fruit upon pizza? No, that's not the conversation we're having here. Because some people are literally just thinking into the void, and they don't want to have that particular rant or whatever about pineapple and pizza. Or, maybe they're just signaling to the other pineapple haters, such as myself. Sorry, I just lurked the whole time, just really to listen to your voice. I was crocheting and I did a lot this weekend. I'm super proud, but tired off the bed. Thank you, River. You're just, thanks so much. I don't think I do amazing work. I think I do a lot of work, which can kind of substitute for that, because I am never not crocheting at this rate. This is like the thing that I do in order to stop myself from going even further off the rails. Yeah, good job, me. Thank you very much. Look, just chill out. You did a lot. If you did a lot, you earn yourself a rest. Okay, go to bed or something. Thank you so much. I'll catch you on Discord or something. It's cool. Oh, and I got I here's where I don't have the overlays. Why have I no overlays? We gotta, and every time I wave my hand like this, the frame rate goes funny on me. Sorry. So, okay, so this is why I don't have the overlays. I can just see Roots and Wings Boutique. Roots and Wings Boutique. I hope I got that right. The activity feed is slightly squashed. Yes, thank you so much for the follow. I should have nice overlays. I don't, because I'm terrible at this and I'm just trying my best. And I keep telling myself, look, you gotta do the overlays things. You gotta just do the overlays. It'll be people need to have the thing showing that you follow, because that's what everybody else. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm bad at this. Anyway, hello, welcome. I hope that your username means that you also do crafts of some description. I mostly do an excessive amount of crochet. I am a crochet artisan, a fiber artist, and also an instructor. And my specialty is being able to do crochet with, in almost any style you've ever heard of, and a bunch more that you probably never heard of. I can crochet with one-handed with either hand. I can crochet with either hand. I can crochet with my feet. But that technique is kind of still it's still a work in progress. I'm not as confident at it as I would say I should be with my other techniques. Like, just for what it's worth, it's like when I get 100 subscribers, I'm absolutely I'll do a stream where I'll crochet for you guys with my feet, just to show you that it can be done, and demonstrate how the technique actually works if you want to try it. Or if you hurt your hands and find you can't do it with one hand, I'm just saying, like I could show you how to do that. That's why I do the thing. Anyway, what I'm doing right now is I'm essentially writing out a pattern. This is called the mantle of the Dovahkiin, and it is essentially a very large shawl with a kind of an angular looking dragon. You can see a bit of the edge of the wing here and here, and this is the body of the dragon. Like this is the tail, and this is the body that comes up like this. It's not even partly way done at this point. I am writing out the pattern. Well, I'm doing it row by row and writing out the pattern for each row. Because I'd done it once, just freehand, just to see if it would work, and it does. And now I need to actually do it slowly and write it out so that I can have a pattern that other people can use. And so far, there's been quite a lot of frogging, a certain amount of swearing, and I've buggered it up entirely at least twice and had to frog things. It is the process, you know. Apparently, if you're a designer, this is like something that happens basically all the time. Anyway, if you're wondering what kind of yarn I'm using right now, this is some very basic stuff. This is the Lion Brand shawl in a ball. And I can't remember what colorway I'm using. The tag is around somewhere, but basically any of the not striping colorways is going to will look quite nice if you want to use it. I've measured the amount of yarn that I'm going to need to actually complete it, and just kind of eyeballing it, it's going to be about 2 skeins of that stuff. And it is important to me that, oh, here, we're at the edge of this. It is important to me that people actually be able to make the stuff that I say. Oh, Shanna Runner won innovation. Congratulations, Shanna Runner. Excellent, well done. I still have no idea what innovation is. I'm sure it's a great game. Lovely board game. I don't know. But I'm assuming that winning is like a good thing. I don't know. Haven't played a lot of board games lately. I keep going and doing the double crochets there when I shouldn't. Come on. I'm getting distracted now. All right. Let's back up. All right. We are on 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on. Don't lose it. Yeah, so if you're going to use the Lion Brand shawl in a ball, I think it's about $20 of yarn. I know a lot of crochet, like a lot of crochet artists and knitting artists, whatever like that, they use really fancy yarn. And hang on, where am I? This is 1/2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are here. 1, 2. There. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. We're good. 1, 2. Okay. Just 3, 4, 5. I keep having to do this. Card game where every card has powers that break the game. As every card is overpowered, nothing is overpowered. Is that like Flux? Because that would kind of remind me of Flux, for what it's worth. The game where every card changes the rules. Oh. Oops. And I'm not allowed to play Flux anymore because it's no fun when I play it, apparently. Where is that chain? Oh, in case you guys didn't know, I actually have a story or whatever I want to tell you. Okay. Now, I've been taking the thing where, like, you know, I am not ban happy, but I will absolutely ban you if you annoy me. Like, I don't like, I like some people are going to kind of free and easy or whatever, they'll come in and kind of troll and everything like that and expect to get away with it. I'm just like, I don't have to give you another second of my time that I'd be willing to give someone who just barges into my conversation and generally acts annoying. I'm just like, no, I'll just walk away from you. I'm not going to just sit around and listen to you blather on about whatever the fuck you're talking about. Like, I've had 1 or 2, I think I've had 1 spam bot and then 1 guy. She enters the chat. Hello, Shanna Runner. How's it going? Well done in the game. I hope you kicked everybody's ass. Oh, there you go. Yeah, snow peep snails. I love them. So okay, so look anyway, right? I've only really had one real troll. Okay, there was literally a guy who showed up and said something. Oh, and there was another guy who showed up who started hitting on me and Wild Nomad when she was here in one of the streams, and that was just hilarious. This guy literally just kind of just like and just really doing this kind of really really awkward hitting on the two of us. And for the record, we're both very much middle-aged women, and I'm just like, lads, are you in the right place? Just, are you in the right place? But anyway, we banned him really quickly. And yeah, there's the streams failing on me again. Fantastic. Anyway, so Shannon, I don't know if you were around earlier, right? But the only troll that I actually banned from my chat outright for being just a dick, showed up in Snow Peep's channel earlier, and she basically told him, you need to behave because like some people don't like you. And he was like just absolutely affronted, going like, what do you mean somebody doesn't like me? And I'm just like, and she's like, well Cypher doesn't like you. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, well, no, sorry dude, I don't like you. Draw some conclusions here, why don't you? And oh wait, I've got it wrong again. Where are we? Hold on. 1, 2, 3. I gotta check this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, we're on 6, not 5. Where are we? 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 1, 2, and that. Okay. That is a half step there, right? We watched something last night who had a bunch of bots in the stream. Oh, that sucks. No, this wasn't bots, by the way. This is definitely just. This is a guy who he makes a habit. He wanders into people's streams and he just starts essentially trying to stir shit. Okay. And he came in here and he's asked me, "Or what are you making?" Like he said, always asking me questions about making yarn, and I was just like, "I'm crocheting, honey. You're in the wrong stream." And I was just like, "Okay, you're weird," and he was just being really annoying. He was just like, he kept saying, "Oh, you're making yarn, you're making yarn." He was essentially trying to get a rise out of me, and I'm just like, "Yeah, you know what? I'm not here for this. I'm sorry." And I was just like, "Boop, ban," and that. Like, the hell with that thing. It's like, I'm just like, again, I ain't got the patience and you ain't got the bandwidth. Sorry, honey. But like, that was when I banned him from my channel. When he showed up in Snows today, he was absolutely affronted by the fact that I banned him. Yeah, there was some weirdo on my stream one time. That was that guy. Well, he was in Snow Peep stream, and I showed up and I was just like, yeah, no, sorry, dude, I don't like you. You like, do you remember I banned you from my chat? Like, you remember I banned you from my channel? And Snow generally doesn't get into that kind of thing. She doesn't ban people because she's just like, trolls are just going to be trolls. There's not much point. And he was like, oh, I'm glad I'm not banned. I'm glad I'm banned from your channel because you swear. And I was just like, oh gee, someone doesn't watch me because I swear. However will I survive? I was being incredibly sarcastic. And then he started calling me names. He called me syphilis. He did that before in another channel, and I just thought it was the funniest thing ever. And he accused me of harassing him. and I was just like, and I kind of felt bad because I was like, this is someone else's channel. I shouldn't be starting shit in here at all, kind of a thing. But like, he got timed out for that, for name calling, and like, I'm sure he'll be back at some point. But God, that guy is just not like, he's just a weirdo. He seems to want to start fights. It's not fair. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They had a thing like that too. The bots all got banned. Yeah. Oh, that's terrible. Or not a key script that will ban multiple bots with a single prepress. That's fucking great. That's the kind of thing that you need. I haven't had that issue yet. Like, I don't think I'm big enough to actually merit that kind of like ban spree or something. I guess, I don't know. Commander route that they used to remove the 100 bots. Like, how does that even work? Like, they just descend en masse, like, to just like spam the channel or something like that. What would be the point? I don't even understand it. Because I mean, it must have been somebody pretty big, I guess. I have no idea. Twitch is a goddamn mystery sometimes. But I mean, it's glad at least you got something that can kind of just take care of that stuff. Yeah, they banned my very stupid crochet related t-shirts. Just ignore that. That's fine. I still don't have any new t-shirts up. I will at some point. I'm going to add some more kind of cool ones. That, or I'm going to just start making, like, I don't know. Cricut outlines of all my t-shirt designs just for the shits and giggles, because I have a Cricut machine and we should actually use it for something. I've been using it just for, promo materials, but I should probably make things like bookmarks and all that crap, because I can do that now. It's like, oh, magic. Okay, where am I? Yeah, okay, center. So we've got these two. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2. All right, we're good. We're still on track. 2 open block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're good. If I can get the yarn, the chain to turn around and work with me. Come on. There, come on. Yeah, okay, we're good. We're fine. Easy done. If I don't manage to split this incredibly strange yarn. Fun fact, this yarn consists of something like 3 different strands and one of them is metallic, and that's how you know you're either going to have a really good time or a really bad time. Mostly it's going to be a really bad time. The yarn just does not want to play sometimes. Okay, come on. One way or another, we are going to make you into a lovely shawl. It's going to be pretty. It's going to make all the girls go, wow. You can be happy. People can look at it and go, hell yeah, it's a Skyrim shawl. And I don't know if the gap here is too big, but I don't want to change it now, so fuck it, it's going to be what it is. It's like this. It's like I worry about once it stretches out, it actually looks pretty okay, but I worry about this not being pronounced enough. And I wonder if I should make this part here a little bigger. I don't know. Oh, it was Joe Sundo. And his last pod at the end, he shot out a mass plan and really fellow swarm props. That's really cool. John's nice. John's cool. Like, I really appreciate that he's just like, oh yeah, I've got to get up every 15 minutes and just do the what you call it, the dance break or whatever, because he gets migraines and stuff, Like, it's just really interesting to see, because I mean I get migraines as well. I got one this last week and it completely just poleaxed me or whatever, but it's like it's really interesting to see that that's like the solution that he's come up with, in order to be able to stream, because he knows what his triggers are, obviously. Like, just literally get up and have a dance break. It's like not the solution I would have thought of, but it's obviously really effective, And of all the things I've heard about as being like a cure or some way of managing migraines, that's definitely the most unusual so far anyway. That works, let's be clear. I've heard weirder ones that clearly won't work. All right, where are we? 2. We can do this. I've been kind of wondering what this would look like if I used I can basically use a tighter yarn, or even just, like, I kind of want to, ever since I started this, I'd be kind of like, I almost want to frog the whole thing and redo it on a lower, like on a smaller hook so I can get a tighter stitch count, but I know I can't because it's like, it doesn't need to be tighter in the yarn, it really doesn't want to work that way. So it's going to be whatever it is, and the pattern's going to be whatever it is at the end, so we're just going to continue and see where it ends up, like this. The dance breaks have got me up and moving too, so sitting on the couch. Yeah. It's just, I was wondering for ages, right? Because this is a very weird experience, because Quaid obviously watches John all the time, okay? Especially when he and Rona are playing the escape room games, right? And like every once in a while I'd hear just like, because he doesn't use headphones or anything like that, whereas I would. And I'd be just kind of hanging around crocheting and maybe listening to something on stream or whatever while I was working. And every once in a while, I just suddenly hear like John's dance music go off, and I just look at it and the first couple of times I did it, I was just like, oh, okay, that's kind of interesting. And then it's just like, oh, we got to discover the origin of the one catchy song he uses in the Eurovision song. The internet was dubbed Epic Sax Guy. That's brilliant. That makes it better. I love that. Epic Sax Guy. That's hilarious. But I mean, it is a very catchy song, I have to say. But like, I was hearing that like every 15 minutes or something like that, and getting incredibly confused about why I was hearing the same snippet over and over and over again. I thought it was some kind of like he was just getting a follower like every 15 minutes or something like that. Because I wouldn't put. And finally, I was asking Dan, it's like, what is going on with that? It's like, does that guy just get a lot of followers or something? He's like, no, it's just like his dance break. And I'm like, his what now? Oh, it was I didn't pick it up, like, so I didn't make sense of it at all. He now has 6 songs. Oh, excuse me. 6 different songs he puts on rotation. That I don't know. I kind of like the epic sax guy song. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'm sure whatever song floats his boat. Oh, come on! Don't slip that. That's not a half double. It's a full double. Don't bugger that up. Eh. Into the slip stitch. Into the slip stitch. Down the bottom. Interesting thing about doing the half full blocks, or the half filled blocks or whatever here, is that a treble is like the correct stitch to do. Like, because it's essentially the one that properly kind of extends, if that makes sense, across like the diagonal of these squares that we're creating, and that's the effect that essentially you get on the side, because we want a straight edge here and not like the zigzag edge or whatever that would normally consist of current crochet. Instead we get this, you know. But it's like, I'm not even sure if the treble like locks correctly. Like, is it the correct weight? I've been putting it into the slip stitch and assuming that it will be the right width, and as far as I can tell, it is when it's actually like laid out. It just doesn't feel that way when you're working it. Would the pattern be workly in a heavy weight of iron? Yes, but the shawl produced would be very big. Like, for reference, all right. Oh, I don't even have it here. God damn it. So this is fairly sizable even right now. Like, I would say it's about the width of my, like, this is what it is right now. And this is not even, like, it's going to be about, it's like I've gotten as far as about here. It's going to be like here. It's going to be about twice as wide as this. I would say if you're going to do it in heavier yarn, you would want to do it in a tighter stitch, essentially. Like, if you get a heavier yarn and then just get a smaller hook, then you'll get a tighter gauge, and that I think would make you get away with it effectively. But yeah, it would. I mean, the pattern's going to be workable in a heavier weight. It'll absolutely work. It should work on any weight you use it. It's just that, like, the heavier yarn, you're going to get a really, really big shawl. Oh, hydrate, yeah, hydrate. Here you go. Everyone hydrate. There you go. Oh yeah, it's orange bubbly. Not my favorite. I don't have much left, and this is like the second last can. I'll tell you what, man. I gotta go to I have to go to Costco tomorrow and get more. There we go. Not my favorite at all. Okay, let's go. Ooh. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Now, it's actually a really interesting question. Would this actually work on a heavier weight of yarn? I would say this stuff, lion branch shawl and a ball, because it's slightly fuzzy as well. It's got a little bit of a mohair thing going on. This is not going to be much heavier than not even sport weight, I think. Like, it's sport weight, but it's got fuzziness to it, you know? So I just want to say for the record, right, if you're going to use heavier yarn than this, like, I will have the gauge listed on the pattern about what you can actually aim for in order to produce the same size of shawl or whatever. So I would say heavier yarn, try and use a smaller hook and size it down to that gauge in order to get the same size shawl. Or just accept that you're going to get a bigger shawl out of it, which I have to say would be kind of fun. And it's definitely like something to think about for the winter. I would say that, like, in the summer I wear this just across my shoulders kind of thing, and it's heavy, even at this weight. 2, 3, 4. 1, 3 here. I have some ginger juice in my orange bubbly tonight. Oh god, I don't think I can have ginger juice. I can barely deal with the bubbly at this rate. Okay, that's a half. 1, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to do one extra at the end. And the chain real carefully. Come on. There we go. Right. Right. We can do this. 3, 4, 5. I had some amazing food tonight, I want to say. Like, I was super proud of myself because I actually cooked, like, food, like actual food for me. And I ate it. And I was just like, hell yeah, I made food and ate it, and I'm adulting properly. I'm in my 40s and adulting properly. There's yeah, sure. We're calling that a win. Whatever. That's the bar is currently 200 feet underground. Like we're just whatever wins we got, we're going to take this week because that's the kind of week that we've had. But yeah, dinner was pretty good. I made garlic smoked shrimp, and it's not like smoked shrimp or whatever like that. It's because it's got smoked paprika in it, and it was just tasty as fuck. It was like garlicky and spicy, and you like you put like the juice of a whole lemon into this thing to kind of give it some like citrusy zest or whatever like that, and it is fucking great. It's just really spicy, and then the citrus kind of gives it this lovely kind of like kicky flavor kind of thing. Love it. But that was what I did. Garlic smoked shrimp. Just just super tasty. I'm not even normally into spicy stuff, but I was just like, I have shrimp and I have half an onion. And that is the extent of what I have in order to make food. So by all the gods, I am going to make some food and I'm going to eat it, and it's not going to suck. And lo and behold, for once, it did not suck. Normally, my cooking experiments go terribly wrong. And I may still eat them because my taste buds generally have no say in whether I eat things or not. I would eat literally anything as long as it's digestible. It's not going to poison me. But for once, it was pretty good, as opposed to being barely like cardboard. Just like I'm gonna call that. It's just a success. You gotta take I gotta take my success any way I can here. All right, where are we at now? And I'm gonna have to seriously count this God damn it, so carefully, because I've already been at the point of just like wanting to throw my MacBook out the bloody window because I got the numbers wrong. Okay, I think we're good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. Like there's 10 blocks along the edge. There's always 10 steps. There's a starting step, and then there's 10 steps, and then the wings start. And because they're going at an angle like this before they go in like this, is like this should be, as the shawl grows up to at least this point, there should always be 10 steps before the edge of the wings. So that looks pretty good. And I have one open, half block, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 half block, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, all right. So we haven't cocked it up yet. The night is young. Well, no, it's not, but you know what I mean. I'm going to finish this row, and it's 5 to 11, and then we're just going to call it there, because that is like, I don't trust myself to go around anybody. I'm going to just go and pass out, or I'm going to go hang out with Snow Peep again. Hopefully, what's his face has continued to stay the fuck away, because he's just irritating asshole. Like, just wandering into streams, and I've seen him a couple of times. He's just kind of wandering into streams and just generally tries to pick annoying fights, and he seems to just want people to get angry at him and just worked up, and then just start fights with other people, because like he showed up in Mrs. Rainbow's stream, I think, and I called him out there. I said, oh god, it's not you again. And he was very kind of annoyed about that, and I said that he's a bot, because I totally thought he was a bot. I didn't believe he was a person, because he was being very, like, the way that he was talking, I was like, this must be some kind of weird AI, because he's not really listening. He's just kind of, word salad. But no, he was actually just trying to pick fights and everything like that. And he seemed to take it personally, where I told everybody, oh yes, that guy, he's a bot or something. You should just ban him or whatever. Yeah, he seemed to take that badly. Oh dear, what a pity. Never mind. Anyway, he got banned there, and he ended up calling me syphilis there as well. And, I've been called worse things by better people. So I'm not really gonna I'm not going to take it as that much of an insult. It's like, oh, some random Yahoo on the internet likes to make jokes using my handle. Like, sure, dude. Just, I guess that's great. Like, come back to me when you got some better insults, I guess. Or, go tell your mother, perhaps, because you sound 13 the way you talk. Oh, well. All right, last stitch, last chunk. Last chunk, and then we're going to call it good. I'm going to go get the last kind of bubbly, and I'm going to just probably chug the whole thing back, and then I'm just going to, I don't know, probably go see what Quaid's doing for the night. He's probably watching someone else play board games. Or watching me. I don't think he's watching me, though. Hi, Quaid. How's it going? If you are watching me. If you're watching me, come and get your charger. Okay, here we go. All right, let's count this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and plus 1 at the end. Okay, we're good. All right, let's write this in. Come on. Notes. Right, we are now on row 34. Oh, come on, just. Are you just not obeying the fist here? What? Yeah. Copy. What? No, just. I'm not pressing the right. Am I pressing the right button? Yeah. Are you just confused about something? No, don't copy the file, you dingbat. Just. I swear I'm not bad at this. Here we go. All right. Yeah, I just randomly copied the. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Okay, you know what? We're just going to stick to this one, okay? Just fucking be that way. Okay, row 34. Row 34, here we go. All right. Start. C2C set by 10. Then we get 2. Open block by 2. No, just fucking copy. No, not the whole thing. I swear I'm not terrible at this. Okay, come on. C2C step by... Open block. Okay. C2C step. Open block. Half fill vertical type 1. C2C step by 2. Open block by 2. So open block by 2. C2C step by 2. C2C half fill vertical type. Open block by 2. Okay. And then 10 at the end and then row end. Okay. Right. Okay. We're sort of okay. All right. So, all right. Now we are going to do the count. Okay. So there's 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Right. Okay. We do have an accurate count. That's where we're at. Okay. So where we are right now for the Dovahkiin, for the mantle of the Dovahkiin, this thing, the pattern is accurate because we have the correct number of blocks across the edge. You can see that there's one wing, there's the other wing, this is the body of the dragon here, that's the little, like basically this is the end of the dragon, and this is just like an extra little embellishment or whatever that I've added down here. Oh, this is going to be a pretty awesome shawl when it's done. When it is done, because I'm just working from this like stuff that I've scribbled effectively. Yeah, that's where we're at. Okay, guys, look, this has been the longest fucking week. I hope you guys have had a pretty good week. I've had just a tiring week, and I'm really hoping that tomorrow's Monday and I will somehow be productive. Not sure if I will be, but you know what? I'm definitely going to try. But until then, until I'm on again, take it easy. It could be next Sunday, but if, I may actually get my shit together and actually do something during the week. You never know. In either way, I hope you guys have a good night, all right? Take it easy.